Hello there, my name's Sideshow. I'm here with more over.gg coverage of DreamHack Winter, and this time I'm with CWoosH of Mouse Sports, who has just finished third, I believe, right, in the BYOC qualifier tournament.
That's correct. That's correct.
So, you guys coming into this event, what were you hoping for? Where did you think you stacked up across the BYOC competition, and what did you think an impact you could have in the main one?
Going into it, we knew that this tournament, the BYOC, would not be that stacked. The main opponents would be Penta and LDLC for sure. We managed to beat Penta the first match, a comfortable 2-0, but then we played LDLC after that, and we fell short. Didn't play that well. They played really great, and after that we went down to the loser bracket, and then we played Penta again. And this time they beat us 2-1. Unfortunately, they played really good. But expectations for the main event, I mean, we got our groups now. It's going to be really rough. It's going to be really hard. But I think actually we have a good chance in this group. It's probably the best group for us, I would say.
Why do you say that? Why do you say it's the best group for you? What about this group? So just for anyone who hasn't seen the groups, it's Fnatic, Misfits, LDLC and Mouse Sports in Group B, and you're going to be playing later on in the day. So what makes that group better for you guys?
I mean, for example, LDLC, we lost to them today, but we played them so many times, and we're pretty even. Like, we won some, they win some. Misfits, we screamed them a lot, and we feel quite comfortable against Misfits actually right now. I think they're still working things out with Cooler and their roles and such, so I think we got a good chance against them. Fnatic is kind of a wild card, I would say, because they have a new player in Hafrikul, and we screamed them one time, and the way they play, like, I feel like we can take advantage of their play style. So I think all in all, we got a good chance of actually going forward in this group.
Okay, nice to see that you're positive going into that.
Yeah, for sure.
Just to wind things, of course, you have to be. Of course, to wind things back a little bit then, to talk about the BYOC qualifier that was here. Yeah. It wasn't streamed, so the main event obviously is going to be. It's going to be on a big stage. We've seen it looks fantastic as well. Yeah. But the BYOC qualifier wasn't streamed, and so people won't quite understand the storylines of the teams going through it. So you said that you beat Penta Esports in the upper bracket, and I believe that was a 2-0, right? Yeah. And then you dropped down as well from a loss to LDLC, and you ended up losing to them 2-1. So what was different about the first time you met Penta and the second time?
That's a good question. I'm trying to remember the maps we played. We played them on King of the Hill, like Ilios, the first set we played them. And we're really good on Ilios, I think. We beat them quite comfortable. And we beat them on, I can't remember the second map, but we beat them quite comfortable, like the first set, the both maps. Then the second set comes around, we feel maybe overconfident or whatever. I think we didn't get the maps we wanted. They got really strong maps. They switched up their hero picks as well, which we weren't quite ready for. And we didn't adapt soon enough, so just misplay from us and well played to Penta. They played really well, and we should have played a regular style. Like, was a mistake from our part, but no credit to Penta. They played really well.
So the way that this BYOC qualifier ended up with LDLC on top, and then Penta, and then Mouse. Do you think if you ran that bracket 100 times, that's where the teams really are, or what are your feelings from scrims and from other tournaments coming into it? Where would you place them if you were going to do like an overall power ranking rather than just this, to get a feeling for who's perhaps done slightly better or who's done perhaps slightly worse?
I'd say LDLC is probably like the strongest of all of us. But they can be really inconsistent. Like lately, the last month, they haven't played that well, I would say. But they seem to be getting back into it right now. They played really well today, so they didn't lose a single map. Penta, like, we played them in a tournament, some online tournament, I remember. We beat them then, but they're quite volatile. Like, they can just explode suddenly and the entire team is dead, you know? Like, so you really need to be careful with Penta. They play really aggressive. They like to get straight up into your face, and if you don't react soon enough, if you don't expect it, you're gonna be dead. So yeah.
Okay, so I was talking to Flippy earlier on, and he said that LDLC are quite regimented, they have quite an organized play, and they said they were a very explosive team in the way that they played. They have a lot of talent on the roster, he says, and they don't really have the organization to be able to pull it off into something really good. But as you were saying there, as you alluded to, there are times when they're just really aggressive and they can overpower you. In terms of stylistically, how would you describe mouse sports? I saw in the Alienware Monthly Melee, you guys were trying out quite a number of different things that I hadn't really seen from other teams. You seem like you weren't afraid to try and experiment with different approaches to different teams. How would you describe mouse sports and their style or their strengths?
I feel we got a deep hero pool. Like most of us, we can flex pretty good. I play a lot of heroes, Logix plays a lot of heroes, Finzi plays a lot of heroes, so like I would call us like reactive, like we often look what they play, how they play, and then we try to figure out the game plan mid-game, you know, and try to beat them that way. That's the way we played before though, like coming into this, we screamed like, we pretty much just went into their face all the time. Like we played triple tank and we just go. Like if we get a pick, we don't just settle with that pick. We speed in and we try to wipe them out. Like so right now we play really aggressive, and as happened today, sometimes we can get really punished by it. But when we pull it off, when we start the ball starts rolling, it's quite hard to stop us, I think. So I would say right now we're playing really aggressive, which you have to do in this meta. Like otherwise it's a pick game right now, so if you play aggro you can deny the picks and get the picks yourself.
Okay, I asked this question to LDLC as well when I was talking to Klanton earlier. I said, if you're going to make an upset in this tournament and upset either one of Fnatic or Misfits, and you're in the same group, so I'll ask you the same question. If you were going to upset one of those teams, what would you have to do? What do you think you'd have to do differently from usual to be able to put yourself on that level and be able to upset them, or you know, at least give them a really good run for their money?
I don't think we have to change our playstyle. Like the only thing is that I hope that everyone performs on stage, you know, like some of us are first timers in our team, so it's that. But I feel like I think we have a better chance against Misfits than Fnatic if it comes to that. But if we play our aggressive game well, I think we can beat them. And if we get our maps that we want, I think we got a good chance of beating them.
Okay. In terms of, I mean, you're talking about Misfits there, and you're saying that you have a fairly good chance at being able to beat them. Is that because they've had the recent changes and things like that? Yeah,
Misfits, like individually, they're really good. But as I said, they're having some problems with the roles right now. When we scrim them, they switch heroes, like the same hero from different players. So like Soon would play Roadhog, then Sebasai would play Roadhog. So they're trying to figure stuff out right now, I think. And it's a new meta as well, so it's a lot up in the air right now for them. Same with Cooler. Lucio is quite important to the team, so having a stand-in Lucio, let's see. We will see if it's a stand-in though, but it's a big deal because Lucio is really important, I think. So yeah, that's pretty much why I think we have quite a good chance against Misfits.
If you were going to do like a power ranking or predictions of where you think the top 4 teams are going to stack up here, I guess that you've scrimmed against kind of Complexity and Fnatic, have you? While they've been over here boot camping, you've not scrimmed against Complexity. Okay, but from Fnatic and Misfits and NiP, or just your own intuition about where these teams might end up, how do you think they stack up against each other? Where would your predictions be for this tournament?
I would say NiP are the strongest favorites here, for like 100%. This meta favors them really heavily. Like the tanks are even stronger than they were. Anna is stronger even though she was nerfed, but the meta right now is tank, so NiP is probably the biggest favorite to win. Then I would say like Complexity is such a wild card. I've heard like from talking to LDLC and others that they're kind of strong. Like people don't know much about them, which can really surprise the teams. So I still think Fnatic though are gonna be like, if it's gonna be a final and I have to pick 2, it would be Fnatic and NiP. I wish it it's us, of course, but you know, it's Fnatic or NIP if it comes to that. And what's the other team?
Misfits. So
Oh, yeah,
Misfits, Fnatic, Complexity, NIP.
Honestly, I want Misfits to do well. I think they will do well. Like maybe they get like some sick energy boost on stage. They have a lot of fans, Misfits, so maybe they'll just click together on stage and perform really well. Hopefully, I think they will reach top 4 though. I don't think they will win the final. I think like hands down NIP is by far the biggest threat here.
So I know that a lot of the players, so when I was talking to the LDLC guys and you guys and even the people on Penta as well, everyone is raving about how good NIP are.
Yeah.
And if you look at their online tournament results since they came back from the Overwatch Open, they've been doing incredibly. I mean, they're on a ridiculous win streak at the moment, but they also haven't had to contend with the other teams who have, like Rogan Reunited, who've gone away. They haven't played in like a big tournament. Actually, they've just been playing in European competition. How much do you think that factors into it, or do you think that they're legitimately like I want to say world class, but they already were world class. So do you think they're actually kind of world beaters at the moment, like a top 1, top 2 team?
Top 2 Europe for sure. I mean, like comparing NIP 2 months ago to now, the way they play right now is that their teamwork is insane. Like just to give you an example, our tank would charge in, maybe pin Fraggy, for example. He will get a bubble. If he doesn't get a bubble, he's gonna get hooked. There's gonna be an Anna-nade for him. Like basically NIP play so well together, they don't waste their cooldowns, they use it when it's needed, and they win the fights off it, like better ability usage, I would say. And they use them really well, and their teamwork is top notch, like, and they're top 2 in my book in Europe. In the world, it would be hard to say. It would be fun to see them against Rogue or Envious and see how they do. But as I said, this meta, I think this is the NIP meta.
I've heard a lot about that, and people have kind of theorycrafted it. From your point of view, what makes this meta even better for NIP, for the tanks? Why are they so dominant at this period of time?
I mean, they even played quad tanks before the patch, and quad tanks is even stronger now. Reaper is not a good answer anymore to tanks, since they nerfed Anna speed boost on her ultimate, and Diva is a thing right now, so Reaper, you can't play Reaper anymore, pretty much. I mean, you can, but it's not going to be at all as effective. So it's really hard to find the answer to quad tanks or triple tanks right now, and they've done it so long, so they know how to play it to perfection. So I don't know, like it's really hard right now. Basically, they have a good Roadhog player. They have Fraggy, who's an insane Reinhardt, and they have Suppe, who just keeps everyone alive. He hits the nade on everybody on his team every time, pretty much. So yeah, they just play really well together, and they play tanks for so long, and this meta is tank meta, so that's basically why I would say.
Okay, you guys have been playing in the same tournaments that they have, or you know, you've been playing online in Europe at the same time as they have, and Misfits and people like that. For the teams who aren't currently top teams, who are trying to break through, what's it like for you guys making your way through these tournaments or trying to place in events like this? What's your experience been like as a not top team in Europe at the moment?
Yeah, like it's really exciting. I began with my real life friends, just playing for fun. Played in some small online cups together. Did pretty well. I got noticed by Team Endpoint, switched to Team Endpoint, played there for 3 or 4 months, was in England at the I-58 tournament and came 3rd there. Then Mouse Sports found me, and these guys I'm playing with right now are really great. Like, it's just we need to work with at the teamwork. That's where we're lacking right now, and our coordination. I feel we're really good individually. But the experience for me is just really exciting because I've been to DreamHack 6 times, and I've always been here like the big nerd, just sitting playing in the halls, you know. And now I'm here with one of these, you know, playing in the tournament. So it's really, really cool.
Well, good luck to you when you're playing the main tournament, CWoosH. I hope you guys do well.
Thank you.